Thank you very much, Lord Provost. I'm beginning to think that Councillor Campbell has got some sort of sixth sense, because I think his motion was submitted before ward councillors in Almond received their monthly email update from the Burnshot Bridge project team, and his motion has provided a handy vehicle for myself and Councillor Young to raise an issue of concern which has just emerged in the last week, and so I'm very grateful to Councillor Campbell for that. I like to think that we're now getting into the realms of Burnshot Bridge bingo, where the Burnshot Bridge has to be the epicentre of this Council's discussions every month. We'll see how long that lasts for. Now, Lord Provost, it's important to stress that it's now 16 months, actually, since the Burnshot Bridge was closed, and it caused huge disruption to many of my constituents, particularly those in Cllr who lost a key arterial route, but also to those in Queensferry and Dalmeny who have faced the impact of the displaced traffic, often through residential roads which were never designed for the volume of traffic which they are now currently being forced to sustain. Now, despite the fact that funding has been agreed, and that is warmly welcome, the project team tell us that the best case scenario remains that actual construction work will not commence until the autumn. Now, that makes it 2 full years since the closure, Lord Provost. Now, I ask colleagues in the chamber today who may not be frequent visitors to Cllr just to pause for a moment and think. Just imagine if the Dean Bridge was closed. Just imagine if it was the North Bridge or George IV Bridge that was closed not for a few days or for a few weeks, but for 2 full years. And just think about that kind of disruption that would be caused, the kind of disruption which has faced my constituents. Now, last week the project team warned that a new effort to integrate the new bridge into the national cycling network could push the start of construction work back even further, so it might not start until 2019. 2019, Lord Provost. I have to tell you that that has been met with a mixture of astonishment, bemusement, derision and incredulity by my constituents. Now, I want to do everything we can to encourage cycling, but officials have, with respect to them, had 16 months to think about this, and it is simply unacceptable that a late change such as this could push back the work even more. More delays, more disruption, more diversions. No, Lord Provost, just no. And that's why my addendum seeks to ensure that any such decision to delay the project even more could only be taken after a report and a decision by the Transport Committee, by elected councillors, so that there is proper scrutiny and proper accountability. After everything that has happened, it is right that our decisions are taken by that committee. So whatever the views on the main motion before us today, I'm grateful that both Councillor Campbell and the convener have accepted this request and seen it as a reasonable one. And in that case, I move my addendum, Lord Provost. Thank you.
Second addendum, Councillor Young.
Thank you very much. Just to add to this, the length of time that this bridge has been out of operation is absolutely extensive, and it is way beyond anything that members of this council would accept for a more city centre location. So whilst absolutely welcoming the commitment to progress the rebuild and indeed welcoming the attempts to integrate with the cycle network, it cannot be allowed to result in a gradual and persistent pushing back bit by bit of timescales, as has been alluded to, and that needs proper full political scrutiny before any such decision should be taken. I second the amendment. Thank you.